Man G here, back again with another match preview, and it is the big one. It is the Manchester derby. It is the main event, and it is Manchester City versus Manchester United at the Etihad Stadium, and this is a big game for Manchester United. Now, obviously, a lot of you guys were there. You were aware of obviously what United did early in the week. We beat Tottenham 2 goals to 1. I said in my prediction, actually, if you remember my prediction, I said, oh yes, we were going to beat. No, initially I said actually 2-1 to Manchester United, and then I changed and I said, okay, 2-1 to 2-1 to Tottenham. And thank goodness I was wrong. I'm so happy that we actually won the game, picked 3 points. And this United team really seems to step up, really seems to pick up when it comes to playing against the big teams. I don't understand why. I don't understand why frankly, we could have easily, not drop points against, against Sheffield United, not drop points against Aston Villa, not drop points against Wolves, against Southampton, and so on. All these teams that really we really shouldn't have been dropping points against, and actually not had to really worry about winning this game, which I think is the thing. We now are going into this game with the mindset that we really have to at least get something from a game, Manchester City, from a game that we are not actually expected to win at all. We're not. Let's be real. We're not expected to win this game at all, and this is going to be a very difficult game for Manchester United. But as I've said in the title, no Martial, no Pogba, no problem. And I genuinely think that. I genuinely think that because of the fact that we, for whatever reason, seem to step up and bring up our game against the big teams, and of course it's away from home. So I think there won't be maybe as much pressure per se. I do think that Manchester United are going to go into this game with a bit of impetus, a bit of spring in their step to try and fight, knowing full well that Manchester City will also fight. To be fair, but they will also, knowing that they themselves have, a huge issue with defensive problems, knowing for a fact that Manchester City will concede, but also that they can be got at, which is really as simple as that. Manchester City, can be got at, and he's hoping that we can actually do something about that. If you're new to the channel, just please like, share, and subscribe to Devil Studio, and follow us on Twitter at UnitedX. We've got a Discord community hangout in the link below. Please click that and join our Discord so we can build our community, and also try and, as I've said in multiple streams in the past, so that we can have a discussion, or get United fans on via Skype to really sort of talk all things Manchester United. So that is coming. We also have our Red Devil Studio live podcast, which are every Mondays, usually at around about 8:30 on the iTunes, Spotify. So click those links below. And last but not least, I will be creating a Patreon for this channel. If you are interested in supporting this channel on a long-term basis, there will be a Patreon set up within the coming weeks, where basically it's just basically a few perks to people who support this channel, things like video requests and so on. And so yeah, that would be something coming in the future. But anyway, I'm back onto this preview, guys, and I'm not gonna lie, it's weird. I feel like I'm surprising. I'm a bit confident for this one, actually. I am actually marginally, is it okay to be marginally confident for this game? I think it's good. I think to be marginally confident for this game, especially with how we played against City, I think it's actually reasonable to be marginally confident for this game. The only thing that I would say is that certain players, and I'm going to show them to you guys in a second, I feel that certain players, it's very important that they step up. it's clear that the Solskjaer's sorry, it's clear that the players are actually enough. In fact, actually, recently, in sort of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference, he's talking about the fact that, well, the players basically, the players actually back him. The players, from what we can see, the players seem to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And so for me, I just think that, they need to now show that on the field. They need to show that on the field. It is imperative that they show that on the field without question. So, just keep on going on. So, this guy, I think this guy's huge in terms of his presence being felt back in the squad. He is a must when it comes to Manchester United. I feel that his injury for, I think, the 2 games that he was out it was just a blow. A huge blow for Manchester United. And Fred, from what I can see, doesn't seem to work without McTominay. I think McTominay brings the best out of Pereira. Now, McTominay is he's no freaking David Silva, De Bruyne, and that's going to be a really big. The battle of this game is going to be in midfield. And it's very, very obvious that Manchester United's midfield is nowhere near Don Ragnar, Scott McDominator. Yes, indeed, that's why I'm starting with him. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Really, really appreciate it. I was wondering if people were going to turn up, but thank you for joining. I really appreciate that. So we need Scott, basically. Footy Live, good to see you as well. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, the people are coming in now. Thanks. I thought I was going to be doing a stream by myself, but I'm glad to see you guys coming in, and we can get an engaging match preview. Sorry. But this guy, as you see in front of you, I think is key from midfield. Now, I think Solskjaer will play 4-2-3-1. I think that's what he's going to play. But 2 holding midfielders against Manchester City. I don't doubt he's not going to, and it's going to be a McTominay and a Fred in those positions. And if they can click, and if they can defend well, both of them, okay, and really go at it, then I think we've got a chance against this City side. Because I don't think David Silva, for example, is at the height as he used to be. Kevin De Bruyne will always be a threat, no doubt about that, and they've got good players like Rodri, obviously Fernandinho, wherever he might be playing centre back, I don't know. But we have an opportunity to at least lay a claim in this midfield, but it's going to be tough. The last time, to be honest, I remember us beating Manchester City was at the Etihad some 2 years ago, where we basically, I think it was a Pogba brace, and then Chris Smalling would come back 2-0 to 3-2. It was brilliant. It was a brilliant sit-down moment to Manchester City, because if they'd beaten us, they would have won the title. But we told them, no, Manchester United is still red, and that was great. Pretty live. I think in terms of attack, I thought we play quickly without Martial. That's actually interesting. Speaking of attack, this dude, also needs to step up as well. Marcus Rashford scored obviously a brace against Spurs. He had a really good game. I was rewatching the game, and certainly for the first half anyway, Marcus Rashford had a very, very, very good game. A very good game. And I feel that, if Marcus Rashford, the difference I think between Marcus Rashford and I think a lot of other players, young players that are coming up, is that I know Marcus Rashford's consistency is not there. I know his consistency isn't there. Oh, shout out to everyone watching on Twitch, by the way. Shout out to everyone watching on Twitch. Get involved as well. Really, really appreciate it. So I am streaming on YouTube and Twitch. So if you want to follow us on Twitch, the channel as well, it's Red Devils Studio Live. That's Red Devils Studio Live, all in one word and only one D. REDEVILSTUDIO. But shout out to you guys. You're on Twitch. Get involved in the conversation as well. I post in the stream. Send your messages, and I will endeavour to read those as well. So yes, back to Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford, man. This dude is something else. And he at least scores in big games. He does go missing occasionally. Footy Live says we just have to go all out and attack them, and they will crack because of their defence. And I think Ollie will build this team in a few years when Pep and Klopp leave the Premier League. Ollie will be the main man with the best teams and the best players. Well, I guess he needs to be given that time, doesn't he? It seems that the players are backing him, no doubt, but he obviously needs to be given that time as well, and that is the key. Is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer going to be given that time? You know, a lot of that is whether we can see improvements, because unfortunately we don't see that consistency with United yet. We see us losing against West Ham, Newcastle. Though to be fair to Newcastle, they took points off City and they beat Sheffield United away. So let's not disrespect them. But we need to see the consistency. I want to see the win against Spurs at Old Trafford with them in your side. I don't want that to have just been because if we lose heavily to Manchester City, automatically I will think, well, did we just play that way because it was Mourinho? We didn't want to be embarrassed, and there was a bit of pride to play for. They don't want him, etc. So it's personal egos rather than actually playing for the badge. We have to build on that on that win, and tactically, Ole needs to be astute. But also, I think that the players as well need to go for it. They need to go for it. Greenwood obviously played, and I liked. I really, really did like the fact that Greenwood actually played up top. I think that really helped us. I think that it was good to see, Mason Greenwood up top as a striker, and Marcus Rashford on the left. I think that was really, really, really good. Because the reality is that I think Greenwood technically is more gifted than Marcus Rashford in terms of using both feet and being able to finish. I think he's got that composure that Rashford I don't think still has. But I also think that Mason Greenwood playing forward allows, beforehand, Ollie was playing Mason Greenwood on the right, Rashford up top. Rashford was going to be the main man. I think it's good to see that Ollie, I think, at least seems to appreciate the fact that Marcus Rashford's best position is coming in from the left. That's Marcus Rashford's best position. Marcus Rashford's best position is coming in from the left and affecting play that way. He's a left winger. That's his better position. Martial can be a number 9, but Marcus Rashford's best position is coming from the left and affecting play that way. And with Martial out, and that's the key thing here. I don't have, obviously slides of them, but Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial and Paul Pogba. According to Ollie's press conference, Anthony Martial will be on the bench. He will be involved. So there's a very good chance he'll be on the bench. Now, it could be that he's going to be involved, as in maybe start. I didn't get the impression Anthony Martial would start. I think he's saying that he's going to be coming from the bench. And Paul Pogba, who we hoped was going to be fit for this game, is not going to be fit until the new year, which is a bit dodge. So Martial may actually be involved. He may be involved. I suspect if I was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to be honest, if Martial is a good player, but if Martial isn't fit, then I think you just build on what happened on Tuesday. To be honest, I don't think that fans are going to criticize Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for saying, right, you know what, I'm just going to play Greenwood and then Martial can come out as an impact. Because if you play Martial, Greenwood's on, you play Martial in the last 30 minutes of the game or so, and you put him on, I think that gives us a lot of impetus going forward. Don Ragnar says Rashford off the left is his position. Daniel James is a workhorse, but somewhat one-dimensional. He needs space to run, but can't take on a man with the ball. He's raw, but he's developing. That is true. And like I said, I have, to be honest, in the games I've seen Daniel play, he has played better off the left, if I'm perfectly honest. Maybe because that's his natural position. But we'll see, I guess. We will see. I can't think of anyone else really that could play. If you're thinking who else could play off the right, Lingard, no, not really. That's about it. I can't think of anybody else. And Lingard likes to come inside. At least Daniel James at least tries to attempt or to play off the right. So we don't actually have an actual right winger, which is why we needed to get Nicolas Pepe or Jadon Sancho. But I don't see really any other options on the right position right now. Free Live, many rival fans of mine are saying that the future is bright for United. Really? That's interesting. Are those Arsenal fans? Because, Arsenal fans, AFTV, Arsenal banter, I can do a dig at Arsenal, to be honest, because you look at Arsenal Football Club. This is the thing. It's what's good is that it can always be worse. It can very much always be worse. If for those of you who are involved in Red Devil Studio Live, on Monday, if you remember, Team Takage won, said, "Oh yes, I'm going to be confident." It was I think 2-1 to Arsenal, no 3-1 to Arsenal. I think something along those lines. I was actually watching that again, listening to that again, and just laughing, to be honest, because that's the state of Arsenal Football Club right now. And I don't really fear them, to be honest, because I think the players aren't good enough, and I think that they're in a relegation battle more than anything more than us. I think we're just very inconsistent. But it's clear from what I can see that the players are playing for Solskjaer. It's just that I don't think the coaching is good enough at this moment in time. But with Arsenal, I just don't see that at all. Feel like Rashford's strike on the ball is paying. Fair enough. Rotti, my guy, most of the fans are Liverpool, City and Chelsea fans. Liverpool, essentially, I think the key thing with those fans, Liverpool fans are probably wanting, secretly, whether they like it or not, they're wanting Manchester United to beat City, because effectively, if United beat City, the title race is over. Liverpool are 11 points ahead of City right now. If we beat City, the title race is over. It's over. It's over. So Chelsea, we'll see with them. That's really realistically the only team that we can chase. The top four, but there we go. Just a quick thing before I get into the comments. This guy, Twan Sebi. Before I go into, because I haven't even showed you what the formation is going to be like, or what I suspect is going to happen. But Twan Sebi for me has to start. People might say that starting him in a big game is not ideal. But for me, Twan Sebi has to start. And I would probably start him, if I'm going to be controversial, ahead of Maguire. I think Lindelof has stabilised. I think of it this way. City, we don't really seem to utilise Maguire's strengths in terms of being in the air. We don't at all. We don't utilise it at all. He just seemed to we're not good at crosses. I don't know. We just don't utilise Maguire's strengths. We don't. We do not utilise his strengths. So for me, City are a team that don't really. They don't really head the ball. Really, they're not really. They do cross sometimes, but really, I can't think of any City players really where they attack the ball, head the ball, especially because Aguero's not going to be playing. So they're going to start Gabriel Jesus, who's not really a head of the ball type of player. Really, he does sometimes, but given our players are tall, we really should be able to mark him out of the game. So I feel like Lindelof at least should start ahead of Maguire, just because at least Lindelof, I think Lindelof is better playing from the back. And creating things and bringing the ball forward, which I think is what we'll need in this type of game, and being comfortable with that. He's not good in the air, and it's quite possible that he might lose there. But again, I just feel that City are not the type of team that do long ball football, that play in the air. So, but at the same time, I feel that we do need someone with strength in defense, and that's why I think Twan Sebi should come in. I know some of you guys, Don Ragnar saying Twan Sebi or Lindelof, and that's fair enough. I'm sure a lot of people want, Lindelof to be dropped. But I just think the way City play, I think that Lindelof will suit this game. And bearing in mind, Lindelof played in that game where we came back from City 3-2. So you don't know. You don't know. Um, Many United fans are urging United to get Haaland. What do you think? I think getting Haaland would be obviously. I think there is a big difference between playing in Salzburg in the Austrian league, which I think is not as competitive as the Premier League. He is quite young. I think it does give us another forward option. In case of Martial, who tends to be injured quite a bit, and I think for me, if we're getting Haaland, it's because we're getting competition for Martial. And for me, if we're getting Haaland, then it should be a wake up call to Martial and saying, if you're being injured all the time, then your place isn't untenable. Because I think I feel Greenwood, or at the very least, Greenwood needs to go out on loan. Something needs to happen because we can't buy Haaland just to play Haaland at the bench if we're going to play him. So either Martial gets himself fit, or Greenwood goes out on loan and develops when he comes back. But I don't think you can have a situation where you have Martial, Greenwood, and Haaland, who I think all can play in the same position. One of them has to sort of take a hit somewhere. Do I think we should go for him? Yes, because we don't have enough forward options. I also think we should go for a right winger, an attacking midfielder, a defensive midfielder, and possibly a left back. But the first four I would say are the priorities in my opinion. Again, what are your thoughts on Saudi takeover from the Glazers? Not happening. Not happening. I think if actually, guys, no, this is the question. Do you think I should? I've been planning on wanting to do like a live, like Q&A, a live Q&A type thing, just for people on the channel, just to ask general questions regarding Manchester United, the channel, just not just related to Manchester United, but other footballing sort of things. So if you are interested, just for the live Q&A, because I don't want to do a live Q&A, no one be there. Just let me know, guys. When you'd want a live Q&A, hoping to do it maybe sometime before Christmas when I'm off or something. So, but let me know if you like the idea of a live Q&A, or whether I should do a weekly live Q&A. I don't know. That's just something that could be in the future pipeline. So let me know. Live Q&A. For the live Q&A sounds good. Fair enough. Yeah, like I said, let me know in the comments if you would like a Q&A. Yes, do live Q&A, and would you prefer it in this sort of audio format? Is this audio format okay? Just asking and just answering questions. Yeah, let me know. Let me know. Don Ragnar says, I'd say get him. Is there a 20 million release clause in his contract from what I've seen? Okay, 20 million release clause. Okay, fair enough. I was going to say, I mean, Salzburg were quoting something ridiculously high beforehand, but I'd be very surprised if that was the case. And obviously, Haaland himself said, I think for me, we need to show intent, though. We need to show improvement. We need to show commitment. We need to show that we want to be a big club again and we want to push. Because if we show a lack of ambition and our side is average in a toxic environment, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't want to come to United, to be honest. Haaland looks like he was built in a lab from even Drago sperm and gallons of Soviet steroids. Oh man! Well, I hope. Well, if he fights any more like Drago did on the field, man, I will take him absolutely. Ollie started his press conference that Smalling will return. What's your thoughts on that? Smalling will return. Did he say? I should have gone for the press conference. I apologize. But like the vid. By the way, guys, if you haven't, please like the vid. For this channel, let's see if we can get to 10 likes. But did he say in the summer or in January? Because it looks like Roma actually wanted to actually bid for Chris Smalling. So I'm curious to see whether they'll keep or not. I mean, he has been doing quite well from what I can see at Roma. And does Chris Smalling himself want to go? Because Chris Smalling seems to enjoy, being at Roma. So I don't know. But if that is the case, then, do we just give them in the summer? In the summer, do we give them? do we give them Phil Jones instead? Because you can't have United. It's weird. If we're talking, how many central defenders do we have? We have Maguire, Lindelof, um, Phil Jones, Chris Smalling, Eric Bailly, Marcus Rojo, Antoine Seaby. So we have 7 centre backs, which is ridiculous. 4, 5 at a push. So at least 2 of those need to go. So Marcus Rojo isn't playing; he needs to go. Phil Jones is banter; he needs to go. Chris Smalling, fair enough. I would keep. I would keep him. For me, the 4 should be Maguire, Lindelof, Smalling, Antoine Seaby. Everyone else goes because Eric Bailly, I love him. I thought he was really, really good when he plays, but he's just injury prone. He's been injured more times than he's actually played for United, and I think it's unfortunate because I don't think he's done deliberately, but we just can't have a crooked. We need to get players in that aren't crooked all the time. And it doesn't help that our medical team or our coaching team, whatever it is that we're doing, seem to sort of crook our players for some reason. 30 Live summer, but they want to buy him in January for 20 million. As in buying 20 million, you mean us buying Holland, or you mean Roma buying Smalling? Freddie's jawline got it. Don Ragnar. Freddie's jawline got him the Arsenal job. well, let's not even go to Arsenal again. So we'll probably do this in a live Q&A actually. So which, like I said, if you like this audio format, and do it. I don't mind doing camera stuff, but it's just that it just seems to slow sort of things down, which isn't ideal. So, yeah, live Q&A. We certainly get that. I'd like to do. I would like to do a weekly live Q&A. If people are up for it, I would love to do because I do love interacting with you guys. And I think it'd be really, really good. Really, really good for this channel to get you guys involved. Don Ragnar said, I wish we kept Smalling and had a load of Jones. I do too. Like I said, for me, Manchester United centre-backs are Lindelof, Maguire, Antoine Seaby and Smalling. The only thing I'd say is possibly Smalling wants ambition. Smalling probably wants to play. We would have probably had Smalling on the bench quite a bit. So to be honest, Smalling's ambitious. Smalling says, no what? I don't want to be a bench warmer. I want to play football. I want to play regular football. I want to go. And for me, your Joneses, your Rojos, although Rojo I think tried to leave the club, Jones, isn't ambitious. There's certain players in the club that I think are just using Manchester United as a retirement home paycheck. And that they're not going to be moved anywhere. They feel like they're at the end of their tenure. There's no real reason for them to improve their games, so they'll just wait it out and see what happens. Man, I've been on this 20 picture for a while. Let me just quickly talk about Ollie for a second. I haven't shown the information in a second. I will show what the lineup is towards the end of this. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as you can see in this picture, the G. This picture is. I don't think this is what it is in terms of this picture, but this picture is making a rounds because it's like Ollie patting Solskjaer's head as a kind of commiserations, old chum. Commiserations. You didn't get you didn't win, basically. And I'm not gonna lie. I did feel good for Solskjaer in that sense. I feel that it would have been very humiliating if Spurs had battered United at Old Trafford, and the fact that Solskjaer, a very inexperienced manager compared to Mourinho, got the one over of Mourinho was good. And like I said, I've got no issue with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a legend of the club for multiple reasons. And we want Ole to succeed. But his tactics, his formation, and the play, need to improve. And the thing is that what I saw, certainly in the first 45 minutes of that Spurs game, you're thinking, why could we not play like this all the time? Now, that could be because Spurs are giving us space, and this is what we said loads of times, in that we seem to find it difficult to play teams that don't give us space. One of the things that City will do is that City have energy. They have energy, they have tenacity. They will come back and try and win the ball. So we need to be on it. We need to also match the energy. We need to keep on pressing City. We need to attack City. And if we attack City, because it's clear to me that we cannot play 90 minutes of football. We can't. So I would say we should certainly start Martial off the bench so that he can come and give us some legs in the last 30 minutes or so. Um, and if we can get ahead, we put Martial on and then shut up shop, because we don't seem to have the energy to play for 90 minutes. Like Liverpool have tons of energy. That's why they can put 5 past Everton at Anfield. But we don't. So if we're going to use the energy, we need to use the energy at the beginning of this game and really go on and fight and continue to fight. That's basically what we need to do. We need to basically go to our strengths and basically go against Manchester City by attacking them early on. That is the only way. That's the only way. That is literally the only way. Pretty live. Sorry. Don Ragnar says, while on loan at Villa, 20 would have learned a thing or two about defending under John Terry. Fair enough. Good point. Pretty live. Apparently, Madison had a run-in with Rodgers at the training ground this morning. Oh, did he? That's interesting. I'll have to read about that link. But I'll give that a read. Ollie has the best top 6 record in the Premier League since he was appointed. That's a fair point. I don't think he's beaten City yet. So that will be interesting. But even in this season, frankly, we haven't lost yet against any of the top 6. Well, the top teams. We haven't. We haven't lost against. We didn't lose against Leicester. We beat them at Old Trafford. We drew with Liverpool at Old Trafford. We who else is in fourth? We beat Chelsea obviously 4-0 at Old Trafford. We beat Chelsea again away in the League Cup. We've drawn against Arsenal Old Trafford, although I think that, to be honest, I would love to play Arsenal now. I would love to play Arsenal right now. I would love to play Arsenal, because I just think that they're not in the shape at all to compete. They're really, really not. And is there anyone else that I'm forgetting? Yeah, and Spurs, obviously, we've just beaten Spurs at Old Trafford, So our record against top 6 is actually very, very good, which is why it gives me confidence going into this game. And I hope that we can take that and go in and get a win. Because after this game, to be honest, the other games, up to New Year, we don't really have, we just have a lot of mid to lower table teams where we could, if we actually played against Spurs, we could pick up a lot of points. So this for me is that if we win here, that should give us the momentum going into the Christmas period, because we have Arsenal on New Year's Day who will just, in my opinion, hopefully get from bad to worse. So we see them on New Year's Day at the Emirates and go there and spank them. Don Ragnar, I wish Ollie played Gomez in the 10 role for Premier League game. Ollie always does him dirty by chucking him out on the wing. Yeah. Gomez needs to go out on loan, buddy. I think Gomez needs to go out on loan. That for me is what I think needs to happen. Andrew Gomez needs to go out on loan and get some experience. That's what I think he needs to do. Andrew Gomez, go out on loan, get some experience, and then come back fighting as well. Again, shout out to everyone who's watching this on Twitch as well. If you're new and listening to the channel, like I said, please follow us on Twitter, UnitedX. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio, and follow us on Twitch as well. I do some gaming, FIFA, PES gaming streams on Twitch as well. That's Red Devil Studio, all in one word. Link in the description as well. So check us out as well. We need more followers on Twitch. So for those of you watching on YouTube, go over and check us out as well. I really appreciate it. Appreciate you guys doing that. So just quickly moving on, because we're running out of time. This is what I think the starting 11 is going to be. I think I saw a lot of people like it's been how many minutes into the stream and he hasn't even looked at the starting 11. So this is what the starting 11 I think is going to be. De Gea obviously in goal. No surprises there really. Sorry. De Gea in goal. He's been alright this season. I think towards the end of last season I was getting a bit concerned that De Gea was, I don't want to say past it, but he was making a lot of mistakes. And the one thing that you have to give Ederson over De Gea all the time is, is just the fact that like his distribution, De Gea's, distribution, his distribution, is very, very good. His distribution is very, 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 very good. And that he can assist teams. He can actually assist players, and that's just something that I don't think we have at United. I would love it if De Gea's distribution was better than it was, but right now that it isn't. But anyway, it is what it is. Moving on. Like I said earlier, I do think that Twansibi and Lindelof should start for the reason I said before. I just feel that City are not a cross in the box header type of team. And so as a result, I think that because of that, we don't really play to Maguire's strengths in that respect anyway. So for me, I think playing Lindelof as someone who's confident on the ball and can pass the ball forward, playing up from the back type of thing, doesn't really tend to lose the ball like that in front of obviously in the defence. And Twansibi, even though you say if we're throwing him into this game, for me Twansibi, he's got the physique, he's got the height, he's got the mentality to win, and I think that you throw him in here. What better place to sort of have your first game to be a legend mark yourself by playing in a Manchester Derby. So I think it'd be bold, and possibly Solskjaer will probably just put Maguire there, and then and maybe Swansea to come on to shut up shop in the last 30 minutes to get fresh legs. That's probably what he's going to do. But yeah, if I'm honest, I would like it if Twansibi was the one that actually started instead. So moving on, right wing, Ashley Young obviously came in against Spurs, but I think Ashley Young still struggled. I think will continue to struggle. I think, to be honest, Williams goes in. It is a risk. You could argue, could Shaw go there? But I guess the question is, because he's back, but is Shaw fit? We have essentially a crooked left back. We have an aging ex-winger, and then we have a young player. It's not kind of, if they could merge all three of those together, and you could merge the experience of Ashley Young, if you manage the age, the age of Luke Shaw, and you can imagine the youthfulness and determination of Williams into one, and that'd be great. Unfortunately, we can't do that. So if I'm honest, I would probably say you start with Williams for this game. It will be difficult, but he has got a good goal in him, and I just think that you might as well. What is there to lose? Let's be real. Sterling will do Ashley Young. Sterling usually plays on the left. Yes, Sterling playing on the left. So Sterling will actually go up against Wan-Bissaka, to be fair. So I'm not really concerned about, though they do interchange. So whoever will be coming against, whoever's on the left is gonna have a field day. I presume Pep will play Jesus, Sterling on the left, and possibly Mahrez or Bernardo Silva on the right, possibly. But whoever it is, they'll do Ashley Young anyway. They will. So there you go. Don Wagner says, that midfield pair is turning up at a drive-thru and ordering a McDonald's with a Fred fries. Mate, the puns, I'm loving them. I love reading your comments out. I'm loving the puns. They're just great. Really, really funny, mate. Man, I appreciate it. But I hope that's the case. And before we go into them, Wan-Bissaka obviously is a mainstay at right back. I don't think it's going to be a change. He's always a consistent, he's always a consistent number 7 in my opinion for defending ability. But as you're saying, Don Wagner is great defending, but lesser going forward. Could even do that into a centre back. Yes, possibly. But we don't really have anyone at right back really who can. I mean, you can already see the improvement having him there instead of Ashley Young. So right now, again, who'd you play? Dallo, I think. I don't even know where Diego Dallo is. Is he still injured? It looks like he's probably still injured. We don't really have anyone else that could play there bar Ashley Young. So I think certainly for now, at least for the foreseeable future, because we don't have that depth there, and he's probably going to have to play there. As far as going forward, I think he could be better going forward, but it's just that he's not been coached, or certainly not been coached well. So, you know, that is one thing that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to improve. He needs to start. You know, we need to start coaching his players to play better football, to try and improve their current ability. Do I see that happening? I'm not sure. So next to McDominator and Fred in the midfield, as always, McDominator and Fred, McDominator and Fred. This is the key here. I think that we're going to be very much being counter-attacking. I don't think this is going to be United who are going to be out-possessed and possessing the ball. And oh yes, my goodness, it's going to be you know, tiki-taki football for Manchester United. No, what I think is going to happen is we're going to be just counter-attacking. We're going to be counter-attacking, counter-attacking all the time, with whatever with whatever ability that we have. That's what we're going to do. That is what we're going to do. So yeah, I do not expect us to really have a lot of possession in this game, and it really is up to McTominay and Fred to protect the back four at whatever cost, and to at least have some creativity to get us going forward and to hurt Manchester City. Fred probably might play a little bit ahead of McTominay or vice versa. He's obviously interchangeable, but like I said, I'm hoping that these two have a good game, because these two having a good game is key to us getting anything from this result. Moving forward with your Rashford, your Lingard, and James. Lingard has been trash for a while. He has been, and it's not really been improved much, if we're perfectly honest. However, I can't see anyone else. At the very least, he'll be central. He's somewhat decent, borderline decent in a central position. I can't see anyone else really. I don't know. Is there anyone else really that can play? Mata can play number 10, but I just think Mata has good games and bad games. Unfortunately, that's just it. Mata has good games and bad games. That's it. I can't. That is it. I know he's not particularly consistent, and he hasn't played well for a while. I don't know. From the best possible options that Manchester United could pick from, because I think arguably Pereira has also been trash as well. Lingard, at the very least, in his preferred position, should stay in that number 10 position. And hopefully he can have somewhat of a decent game. I don't believe he will, but we'll see. We'll see. He has to step up and prove himself now. He has to actually step up and prove himself. Rashford obviously on the left, and Greenwood obviously on the Rashford on the left and Greenwood on the right. So I'm just realised that my hashtag for this game is wrong. So I'm actually going to change that. I'm going to change that now. But yes, Marcus Rashford on the left. Put him on the left, please. Solskjaer, do not play him at top at number 9. It will ruin him. So please do not put Marcus Rashford there. Please. Put him on the left. Hope Nicole inside. That's basically what we want. That is what we want. James on the right. We have no alternatives. I don't think he had the best of game against Spurs. I think it was quite silent, if I'm perfectly honest. But we'll see. hopefully he can step up. Hopefully he can run. Hopefully he can cause problems, because as we know, Manchester City will have issues at the back. Tons of issues at the back, at least from what I can see. So we can get at them, and who better than Daniel James and Marcus Rashford. And Mason Greenwood, lastly. Sorry, I'm still on. I'm still on the Mason Greenwood, it's going to be a big game for him. It's going to be a very, 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 very big game for Mason Greenwood. But what better way to step up than playing against City away and scoring a brace like Marcus Rashford and announce yourself into the Premier League? That for me is what Mason Greenwood's got to do. I think he had an okay game against Spurs, but I think there's more that we can see from him as well. So, sorry, fingers crossed that we do see something from him. Almost on the stream, guys. This dude, Pep Guardiola, will have a point to prove. I think he knows that this is a high pressure situation, so we should not underestimate Pep Guardiola in this game. He will want to win. Obviously, you know, they battered Burnley, but I mean that was to be expected. But he will have a point to prove, and if he wants to get any momentum, any fight, any desire, you know, to beat Manchester City, then, you know, he needs to win this game. He needs to win this game, and so the full force of Manchester United is going to be on this from Pep Guardiola, if that makes any sense. And so he's going to throw the kitchen sink at Manchester United to get this win, because if they lose this game, Man City will be 14 points behind Liverpool before Christmas, and that's the title's over. It's over. It's frankly over. Don Ragnar says, as Wan-Bissaka, if you replace Lingard with a fit Pogba in that team, I'd be boosted for the game. Tom, I agree. A fit Pogba in that position would be great. It would be very, very good. I absolutely and totally agree with that. However, I don't know. It just it's Pogba. The Pogba conundrum is an interesting one. I think a lot of people are saying, is he going to be? Is he going to play for Manchester United again? I don't know. I'm hoping he does. You know, certainly for the last part of the season, we have missed Pogba a lot. Yes, he didn't play quite well on the start of the season, but we desperately need a fit Pogba to come into the side. We desperately need a fit Paul Pogba to come into the side. But we must be wary of Pep Guardiola. Let's go back. So yeah, guys, what do you think? Score predictions in the comments, guys. Don't wait for your line. Score predictions. I'm gonna say, I want to go and be optimistic here. I want to be optimistic. We haven't kept a clean sheet for a long time, so I don't think we're going to keep a clean sheet at the Etihad. I'd like us to do a Wolves. So, you know, I'm going to go the same score prediction I went against Spurs. I'm going to say 2-1 to Manchester United at the Etihad. That's my score prediction. Rashford to score and Scott McTominay to score, I think. And then possibly a Gabriel Jesus goal from Manchester City. So that is that's my score prediction, and I hope I'm right. I really hope that I'm right for this, but we'll see what happens, I guess. Let me know in the comments what your score prediction is if you're watching this live. 2-2, Magnus. You think it's going to be a draw? Fair enough. At the very least, we need to get something from this game. I don't care what he says. We need to get something from this game. It's very, very important that we do. And yes, he's hoping that we do. Thanks everyone for watching, guys. It's a bit of a shorter stream, because I've heard off for other reasons. But if you're still new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Because I know a lot of you guys are wanting a QA, so we'll hopefully be doing weekly QAs. I will fix a time, possibly Wednesday, at least not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after. So we will probably do weekly live QAs in this format from this channel, probably Wednesday evenings. I would say I'll usually do it late, about like 9 o'clock QAs. We'll have our Red Devil Studio live podcast again on Monday with Shawnee, with Team Takagi One as well, reviewing the previous week's results, including the 2 weeks, obviously. The podcast will be on iTunes and Spotify as well. Join our Discord community as well. I'm plugging a lot of things, guys. Subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitch, and like the video as well. And get your questions for the QA, and consider and let me know what you guys think in the comments. Consider also considering being a Patreon. We are going to be getting a Patreon page up as well, just to support this channel and just to keep me going. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to Vig. Last comment from Dog Magna. I feel like some of the players have shot their whole load in the Spurs game. I hope that you're wrong. I really do. But I guess we'll just have to see what happens. Once again, thanks everyone. It's been a good stream as always.